It all began with a simple piece of land, sitting quietly on the outskirts of a peaceful suburban area. I had purchased it years ago, dreaming of someday building my own home or retreat, a place to escape city chaos. It was small, but I saw potential, a blank canvas waiting for my vision. I spent months planning, saving, and working tirelessly to turn that dream into reality. But I never imagined that my land would become the battleground for one of the most bizarre and unbelievable property disputes I'd ever face. It all started when Karen, the HOA president and notorious neighborhood troublemaker, suddenly declared she owned my land. Her claims were baseless, but her influence was strong enough to make me question everything. She showed up unannounced, claiming she had reserved the land for a community event, even though I had all the permits, and no such reservation existed. I was stunned. It was just a small, peaceful land parcel. How could she possibly claim she owned it? But her attitude was aggressive, and her reputation in the neighborhood gave her enough power to threaten me. I documented everything, photos, permits, emails, and responded politely, explaining that I owned the land legally. But Karen wasn't the type to back down. Her obsession with control grew worse. She began spreading rumors, calling the police, claiming I was illegally developing the land, and threatening legal action if I didn't give up. I was frustrated but determined. I knew my rights. I hired a lawyer, and soon the legal battle was in full swing. Little did I know, her obsession with my land would escalate into something far more dangerous, a scheme that would lead to her downfall and my ultimate victory. As the legal proceedings progressed, I uncovered disturbing facts. Karen wasn't just overbearing. She was involved in a long history of illegal activities: fraud, bribery, and conspiracy. It turned out she'd been manipulating the HOA, falsifying documents, and even forging property deeds to claim ownership of my land. Her greed knew no bounds. Behind the scenes, she had secretly bought off officials, falsified permits, and even hired private investigators to spy on me. Every time I thought I had a chance, she would escalate her tactics, trying to intimidate, threaten, or bribe her way out of trouble. But I stayed vigilant. I documented every suspicious activity, collected evidence, and worked with law enforcement. My lawyer advised me to prepare for a major lawsuit, one that would expose her illegal schemes to the world. The media caught wind of the story. News outlets in the USA, Japan, and across Asia started reporting on her corruption and criminal behavior. The story went viral: an ordinary landowner fighting a corrupt HOA president who was secretly a criminal mastermind. People across different regions, including Japan, Australia, and Europe, sent messages of support, sharing their own stories of HOA overreach and land disputes. This was no longer just a local issue. It was a global movement against corruption and abuse of power. The court date finally arrived. I was nervous but prepared. My evidence was solid: fake documents, forged deeds, bribery receipts, and witness testimonies. Karen looked nervous, sweating in the courtroom as her web of lies unraveled. The judge listened carefully as I presented my case. The evidence was overwhelming, exposing her criminal activities. She was caught red-handed forging documents, bribing officials, and illegally seizing my land. The verdict was swift. She was found guilty on multiple charges, including forgery, conspiracy, and property theft. Her assets were seized, and she was sentenced to prison. The judge ordered her to pay restitution. "Return my land and cease all illegal activities." The crowd cheered as I stepped outside the courthouse. The land finally mine again. The media frenzy continued, exposing her entire criminal network. My land, once threatened, was now fully protected. I had won against corruption, greed, and petty revenge. Her mansion, built on my land, was now confiscated. The story made headlines worldwide. A story of resilience, justice, and standing up against corruption. With Karen behind bars and my land reclaimed, I focused on rebuilding. I turned the property into a community project, a symbol of justice and resilience. I became a voice for landowners worldwide, sharing my story to inspire others fighting similar battles. The legal victory inspired reforms in local and international property laws, protecting landowners from HOA abuse in the USA, Japan, and beyond. I collaborated with authorities and advocacy groups to strengthen policies and prevent others from falling victim to similar schemes. Today, my land is a testament to perseverance. My story is shared on YouTube, inspiring millions of viewers. Karen's obsession was her downfall, but my victory proved that truth, evidence, and community support can topple even the most powerful villains. Looking back, I realized that this fight was about more than just land. It was about justice, integrity, and standing tall against corruption. Karen's obsession led her into a criminal trap she couldn't escape. My story has become a symbol of hope for landowners everywhere, especially in countries like Japan, where land disputes can be complex and treacherous. The fight was long, but justice prevailed. And I learned that with courage, evidence, and the support of the community, any injustice can be overturned. Now I dedicate my life to helping others defend their rights and fighting corruption worldwide. My land, my victory, and my story are proof that even the smallest voice can make a difference. Today, my land is a thriving community project, and my story continues to inspire. Karen's downfall is a reminder that greed and obsession can destroy even the most powerful, but truth and justice always prevail. This is my legacy, a testament to resilience, justice, and fighting for what's right, no matter the odds.